Bring this meeting to order February 3rd at 7 o'clock. The rec committee meeting and Jim, Mr. do roll call.
Reagan.
Here.
Wild.
Here.
Marisi.
Here.
Brazil.
Here.
He's with us tonight.
All right, very good. It's been a long time.
Yep.
And we got lots to do, so we want to try to stay on task and not drift away too much from it. So we can get up an hour.
I gotta go back to work.
Yeah, you gotta go back to work. So, I don't know, Jeremy, you want to take over?
Sure. Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. The first item on the, well, Mr. Chair, we have approval of the agenda and approval of the minutes. And then once we get past that, I can touch on the new business
All right.
stuff.
I'll approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Oh, yeah, got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, approved. Approval of the minutes.
From when we're,
October 18th.
that's it, yes. Okay, let me make sure I got it right. Let me do that.
Minutes. Where are they? Oh, there we go.
Anybody second it?
Oh, I'll second it, sorry.
I'll second it.
2 seconds and 1 first. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, done. All right, I guess the next item would be to select a volunteer to our committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll give a report on this. We have one vacancy on the Arts and Recreation Committee. There are 5 seats. We have one vacancy. The staff placed an advertisement in the Bridge asking interested members of the public to apply for the vacancy. In response, we received 3 applications. Those applications are in your packet tonight. And the members of the public who applied are with us. I would suggest, well, I think it would be a good idea to have a brief round robin with the Parks Committee members to briefly introduce yourselves to the candidates, and then we can turn it over to each candidate for a 5-minute opportunity to introduce themselves.
All right,
We can start with you, Mr. Chair.
okay, my name is Paul O'Regan. I've been chairperson for a number of years now. I've been in Lowell for almost over 26 years. You've probably seen me. I'm the guy sitting in front of his garage across Paul Fisher Park. And I know well what's going on at Paul Fisher Park. And I don't know, that's about my history. I'm not a very, don't have a whole lot going on in my life, so I'm retired and that's what I do. Thank you.
I'm Tony Maurici. You may know me from the store. I'm the part-time cook over there. I'm also involved with East Valley Church. I play guitar over there. I have 4 grandkids that live in the area, so that's why I'm on the Parks and Rec. I've been on it for about 3 or 4 years now, and I'm semi-retired, so I get time on my hands.
I'm George Lowell. I'm the only foreigner here. It was a joke when we, some years ago, where do you live? Lowell, a city of 1,010 people plus 2 Brits, you know, that was the official thing. But I've been on the Parks Committee and various other committees for almost 20 years. Because when we moved to a place like this, my promise to myself was I would get involved with the local, whatever's going on, and that's how it's been since then. So I've been around the parks and Blackberry Jam for quite a while. So, you know, the thing is, we've had a lot of volunteers in this area who work very hard. The Parks Committee and the Blackberry Jam Committee are working committees. You have something to be on those committees. It's not a sit back and wait for what this gentleman brings down and say, have a look at it, you think it's okay, sign it and move to the next. So ideas and doing are very important. So that's my Pensworth.
Max.
Hi.
from the-
Go ahead. Go ahead, Max.
I forgot you were in here.
You should have been
Yeah,
here.
all right.
Max, Public Works Director. I've been here since 2014. Of course, not on the Parks Committee, but I'm directly responsible for the parks, and I like to be involved.
And we love it.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. I'm Joe Brazil, and I've been in Lowell for about 6 years, and on the Parks and Recs Committee for 3 to 4 years. I think I came on about the same time Tony did, maybe a little later. Yeah, and yeah, and it's a good way to be part of the community and help sort of give ideas and try to get the city to have good open spaces. And because I have kids, and so it's nice to have the open spaces in town.
And my name is Jeremy Caldwell. I'm the city administrator. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I'll say we only have one vacancy. So for those who aren't selected, there's opportunities, tons of opportunities to still be involved in the community. We also have an opening on the city council as well. And the applications for that are due February 18th. So if you really want to get involved with the community, that would be a fantastic way to do so. So with that, Mr. Chair, we have first Jonathan Burns. If you want to give Mr. Burns 5 minutes to introduce himself.
Well, I'll be happy to. Jonathan.
I consider stand up. I'm John Burns.
Have a seat. Come on up, come on up.
Come in the hot seat, John.
It's a rough place.
Yeah. So I'm John Burns. I live over on Wetlow Drive over here. I'm an artist. That's my first love. I've been making art since I was a kid. I'm now 44. I've got a couple of degrees in that field. I've recently started an apprenticeship with the Union 290. So there's actually a conflict of interest in that area, but more about me. I just want to say that I got 2 little kids, and they're getting to that point where they're no longer toddlers, and we like taking them to the parks and things like that. I thought my ideas might be useful as far as like design and landscape and such. But I have night classes now. I just want to bring that to everyone's attention. Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 9. So I talked to George about this and he said there's still opportunities to serve. So it might be better if I just bow out and let someone who can stay with the current schedule. I'd be happy to do any grunt work. You need somebody to make
We
calls.
always need volunteers.
I'll be happy to help
That'd be great.
in that way. So between these two, I guess.
Thank you, John.
You guys get any questions for me?
I don't know.
Well, I like what you said about design and so forth, because, you know, that's one of the things that, you know, being in parks, what we need to have design and how does it look and what can you come up with and things like that. So that's one of those things to put in the pigeonhole.
Okay, Mr. Chair. Next on up, we have Misa Andrews. Come on up, Misa.
I met some of you last week, and at least those two at the Blackberry.
Yes. and we need some out.
So, my main interest was the Parks and Rec thing but you can see on my application, I just check marked everything because I'm overexcitable. So I've been working, I've lived in Lowell for about 3 years, and I've worked at Caterpillar for over 20 years, third generation there. And before Peterson bought it out, you guys might remember it was Pape. And when Peterson first came, it was smaller, more family oriented, and I was in charge of all the planning and all the events, took care of all the budgets for everything, and if it had to be planned and organized, I nailed it every time. And since the company has expanded, everything has gotten more corporatized, and so I don't get to do any of that planning and organizing and have any of that project base in life anymore. And I've always wanted to get involved in the city stuff. And so this seemed like a great opportunity to focus all of that lost energy and get re-involved in the community where we moved out here to raise our kids. They're 7 and 10 now, so it's I think trying to be on the Blackberry Jam committee and working and everything, and Shannon might have more time to stay in the schedule too than myself, or even the first guy you talked to. So. I don't know. Questions?
I have one.
Yeah.
If you are selected, are you able to commit to the first Thursday every month to this
Yes.
meeting?
Yes, I will be able to do that. My schedule is for work is always just a set Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Okay.
But I'm looking to help anywhere. I mean, it doesn't have to be specifically this one thing, so I'm willing to, stand aside and take another duty if that means serving the city and helping out with parks in the future too, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good attitude. Really.
I just want to
And this
be a
is
part
what-
of it.
You know, this is what we need to find people's niche. Again, for the last 2 years, we've had nothing because of the COVID, so it's a real struggle to start from ground up, particularly. Some of the activities that we've had, that we haven't had, I should say.
And I've been watching the bridge since we moved out here, and every time I see these things come up, I always think, well, I haven't lived here long enough to, too new. So I thought 3 years is long enough to say I'm officially a part of the town.
Well, and all the committees need help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm willing to help anywhere, but.
I have a question.
Yeah,
You said the Parks and Rec Committee was the one you were most interested in. Why is that?
I don't know. I guess it just seemed like in the forefront of my mind, it seemed like the most applicable, having small kids and frequenting the parks and growing up in this area, just, the outdoors is just part of what we do
Mm-hmm.
in this, this part of the world, I guess. And so it was just kind of natural to think of myself doing that more than, road sign team or something like that.
Yeah.
No much in road signs or voting on which way a road should, go, but
Go up and
I can
down.
help plant trees and plan where to put them. And
Okay.
have lots of opinions about children's safety with, the
Yeah.
parks and such like that, so I have
Okay.
opinions coming out, probably too many.
Well, it's good. We can't have too many. We want people on committees that will,
Yeah,
voice their opinions, but not be dogmatic, Good.
Okay,
I go.
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Mr. Chair, the last application we have is for Shannon Fassbender. Shannon, come on up. Welcome.
Thank you. All right, my name is Shannon Fassbender, and I have lived out in Lowell for about 6 years now. I work for Lowell School District. I've worked there for 5 years now. Our family is very involved in the community. I don't know if you guys know the Christmas parade that's happened for the last 2 years. I've had that on. The trunk or treat that has happened for the last couple of years over at Stomping Grounds. I put that on, just trying to get more community involvement and get people more hyped, especially during these last couple of years. It's been a little bit kind of down, I guess, because of COVID. So just trying to bring that back. I have never been part of a city committee. I have an interest in it. I have had an interest in it for a long time, but I just waited for the right thing to come up. And I thought this Parks and Rec would be a great opportunity because I have 4 kids and we frequent the parks very often. I actually see you all the time out there. So just being able to have an opinion, be able to give some ideas, help out where I can. Working at the school, I also have all the kids. They talk to me. If they know I'm a part of something like this, I can get ideas, I can get input, figure out, what these kids want to. But just providing more opportunities for the kids to stay out of trouble and do more positive things. Also, being there at the school, we have lots of kids that need volunteer hours to graduate, and bringing them in to help plant trees and to do things of that nature would be great. And I can get on board and get those kids coming in. So I have lots of things I think I can bring to the table.
When you talk about kids needing volunteer hours, what is the age of those kids?
It's the high schoolers, so
Is it?
9th through 12th grade.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Give me an age.
That would be
15,
about
or-
15 to, well, about 14 to 18. Yeah, strong boys, good
Well,
girls.
We have tried in the past and it's not worked.
Oh, wow.
Very much so.
The seniors scramble, so
Very much.
yes, right now they're all scrambling, looking for volunteer hours. So if you need some, let me know.
Oh, yeah.
I will get some for
We'll have
you.
a few coming up, that's for sure.
If this happens and you can get kids to volunteer, they're gonna need pretty tight supervision
Yes,
doing the work. 'Cause
yes.
They have a tendency to kind of
They do. Actually, the Christmas parade, I had to get like 12 volunteers together for doing the traffic control. And I got 4 of the high school kids, and we kept them in line and they did a great job.
All right.
So,
And you are able to commit to the first Thursday every month.
yes.
That's been one of our issues.
Yep, I work Monday through Friday. I'm off at 3:30 every day.
Okay.
The only other thing I have is I'm the president of our union at the school, but I make the meetings and I do them quarterly, and they're always on Mondays or Wednesdays,
All right,
and they're early.
good. Very good. All right, thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
questions, Joe?
No, I don't have any.
Guess there's a time lapse.
So what is it you actually do at school?
So I do all the administration reports for all the state reports, and then I also run the sped department, like the paperwork side of it.
Yeah.
And then I take care of the charter schools, making sure that they're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing by law so that we don't get in trouble.
Yeah, keep them online
Yeah, pretty much.
or in line.
In line, gotta keep them in line.
Great.
Anything else from anybody?
Pretty good, really.
Okay,
We have 3 very viable candidates, but one had a bit of a problem.
Does anybody have any questions on what the Parks Committee does or what you would be doing as a member of the committee? If so, I'd be happy to talk about it a little bit more. Go ahead.
It's more than just planting trees, correct? I mean, George was talking about the different festivals and things like that. What else? Other than the festivals and trees, are there other?
When we were working on getting the parks, basketball court at Fisher Park, updating Rolling Rock Park, where Wetlow ends, where the old railroad track used to be, that path there.
The Pacific Crest Trail?
Yeah, that used to be the old lumberyard railroad,
Uh-huh.
and we wanted to do that in a jogging and bike path and have it go all the way and have history of Lowell and the logging, as you go out there and try and connect it with, I don't know if you say Bristol.
No,
Elisha?
no, they go their own way.
Look out.
Look at it,
okay,
down
look
the
out,
road,
okay.
yeah.
That way,
That'd be
and,
awesome.
and try and get more, because a lot of bikers come here.
Yeah.
And, making it more friendly and, and walking paths. And getting it, like lit up at night, so we can have, people that are out walking their dogs and, feel safe.
Organizing beautification as well,
Yeah.
Park cleanup, city cleanup, and et cetera, throughout the year.
Yeah.
We
That's
ask
cool.
people to help out. and,
Pre-COVID, they used to hold two
Yeah,
annual
yeah,
parks cleanup days. One of them, we did actually a pretty big one besides the park was the post office.
yeah.
yeah,
We did all the landscaping there.
Yeah,
with
Joe,
huge
you were
turnout.
there, Joe, on that one?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
Barb was there and
Yeah.
helped them out a lot. And that was
So-
all sponsored by the city.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things like
And
that.
cleaning up the, like Unity Bridge and, stuff like, make it beautify the city.
And of course, we've been stuck for 2 years.
Yeah.
So there's more to it than planting trees. That's just one of the current things that we're looking at, the changes that have been suggested and what we need to see.
Yeah, because we had a big plan right before COVID hit, and then bingo, everything stopped.
So there's always little bits of things that we see that we bring to the table that needs attention during the month and et cetera.
Yeah, I like the idea of beautification. That's. I think the nicer a place is kept, the more the tendency is to keep out the riffraff.
Or it reflects who you are.
Yeah, as a community too.
Yeah, the community, right. And, now the city guys do a good job of cutting the grass. That used to always be done with volunteers.
Oh,
There was no city involvement in anything, which was a shame, really. So it was very heavily volunteerism that brought us to where we are. And then these guys came in and not capitalized, but kind of developed even more, which is good.
And there is a lot of work to do in
There
the
is, yeah.
parks, you know, there's, and we'll probably bring this up at a later date or something. A lot of maintenance, a lot of painting, you know, and recently Paul Fisher finally got the irrigation in. And now I know they're working on Rolling Rock as far as irrigation. And that seems to have helped out quite a bit, because one of the biggest complaints from the parents was, why is the grass always brown during the summer? And it does look kind of rotty, you know, when it's that way. And but we'll get into this later with we talked about the tree. We're trying to implement at this point a tree program. So yes, there's lots to do, and thanks to COVID, I don't even think we met for a year at least.
No.
So
That's a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah. So we're starting off and hopefully
kind of starting brand new,
moving
sort of.
forward.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, folks. Really.
Yeah.
We've got some good people here. Really, that's great. Like I say, we want workers, not sitters.
Right. And I'm the same as there as well. If it doesn't work out here, then the city council, anything that's open, I'm willing to go into.
Great attitude. I might come knocking on your door.
Right next to the high school, you can't miss it.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Mr. Chairman,
So-
at this time, the Parks Committee can approve to recommend that one of these candidates be appointed. The city council approval is required, so if you make a recommendation tonight, we'll take that to the city council at their February 15th meeting.
Okay.
Would this be kosher? And I don't want to embarrass anybody and make it sound terrible, but would we feel more comfortable discussing the candidates if they were not in the room? I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out, you know.
Yeah, that was my question too.
Don't want to embarrass anybody, you know.
I think-
Well, you know, I really don't
Talk
want-
about me right here.
You know, she might get mad. you know.
I think it'd be awkward if we were here.
Well, I appreciate you taking that approach.
Yeah, yeah.
We wouldn't want you to get mad and move out of town.
That's right.
Oh, now you're stuck dying
All
here.
right.
Thank you.
Thanks
folks.
for
Yeah,
having
thank
us
you.
and
All right.
getting to know us a
I'll
little
see you
better.
guys
Yeah,
tomorrow
See you
night.
tomorrow.
I'll holler at you.
Okay.
What we're
Yes.
going to do.
Got my number.
Yeah.
Here, okay. And it's 6 tomorrow night. right? All right.
Yes, please come on.
You guys
Nice
will,
meeting
you
you. Thank you guys. Thank you.
guys will know one way or the other.
Okay, sounds great.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
You don't have enough volunteers.
So I guess I didn't have concerns about either candidate. I don't know if we just start discussing the two or if we have to do anything else beforehand, but
Well, I like the lady that is affiliated with the school,
Shannon.
because
Shannon,
then she can bring in a lot there, and she can also get the school parents and, you know, drum up some volunteers possibly, and, you know, a good word of mouth.
Yeah, so I know I'm not on the committee.
No,
but-
well, I was going to ask you for your unbiased opinion.
So
actually.
Shannon is very involved in the public, as everyone here knows. She does have kids that are very involved. Her husband isn't very involved. I think any of the three would be a good fit. Obviously,
Yeah.
the gentleman had to step away just because he can't make the commitment.
Right.
But the one key thing I heard is, between Shanna and Misa, Misa is, she had everything marked, but she also had the library committee, city council position.
Yeah.
So, and they all stated they'd all be happy, but I know, looking at the application, Shannon only had parks marked.
Yeah.
I have dealt with her over the last couple of years with both the parades and everything. She is very organized. She's committed. But I'm not saying that about the other because I don't know the other two individuals.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Tony. I think she would be a good fit. Oh, but I also think, Misa would be a good fit too. She seems eager and involved.
Yeah, well, she's helping out on the Blackberry. committee.
She is,
So,
yep.
yeah. So that's.
See, I mark them down that way as well.
Right.
I mark Shannon because I think we can utilize her strengths for the parks.
Yep.
And Nisa, with her strengths, would come in well with the Blackberry Jam. That's my feeling. I don't know.
That was my feeling too. I felt like, sorry if I'm yelling too loud.
Oh, you're fine. That's gonna get me.
Yeah, that was my feeling too, is that it felt like Shannon had the best application and seemed like to be a person that could benefit the parks more so at this point in time.
Yeah, that's the way I read it.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Joe.
Hmm,
So I'm all for Shannon.
yeah.
Okay.
So do we need to make a motion there? Chairman?
Yes.
So I make a motion that we select Shannon as our committee member. All in favor?
I will second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All, thank you. All opposed? No opposing, so Shannon is our selection.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Okay. Next on the agenda, what do you think?
Paul Fisher Shade Tree Program.
All right. I have handouts for this situation. Joe, I wish you were here. I don't know how you're gonna get your hand out.
I got it on.
Well,
Shade Tree.
it's in the packet, I think. So I'm looking at it, maybe.
No, you don't.
This is,
No, you don't.
Oh, you changed it.
You got 'em there. You got them there, Paul.
I have the tree plan.
Yeah. One for you and one for-
Yeah, I got this one. It's not in color though.
Too many pieces of paper.
Well, you got that one, but look at the rest
Okay.
of the handout. Here you go.
All right. Ooh. That's a pretty picture.
These are the suggested trees, I believe, from the architect. And if you want my thought on these, I will give it to you.
Now, is dogwood as nuisance as the cottonwood?
I have no idea.
Oh,
No.
no,
I mean, they're all gonna drop their leaves.
yeah, very much, but, yeah,
It doesn't snow.
okay, all right, that's my, yeah,
Okay,
okay.
that cottonwood,
For people with allergies, yeah.
well, it was so bad.
It's just a
clogged up my
mess.
heat pump. So yeah, these are the trees that were selected from the architect. Okay. And if you want my thought on the whole deal, I'll give it to you.
It's a combination of all the trees, or do we have to pick what trees we want.
Well, that's
Well-
what we're getting at.
Okay,
In order to implement this program, I believe we have to have some strict restrictions or rules to this. I don't want somebody wanting to plant a cactus tree or palm tree. You agree? So,
I agree.
thank you, Joe.
I think that, well, I don't know these trees that well, but I could look them up. But I think the ones they picked out are probably good trees, the 4 that are listed on the legend.
Yeah, he felt, I guess the architect felt this was the best way to go. My concern is, should we have people who want to donate a tree, or do we want them to have a choice of all the trees, or do we want to narrow it down to 2 or 3 trees? That was my idea.
Okay, are you saying, let's just have a selection of 3 trees?
Well,
Yeah,
that's my
Well-
suggestion.
I think for the people who want to donate a tree, it will behoove us to kind of keep it to a selection of 3 or 4, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But not have them specifically pick one of the 4, because we may have 20 people picking one kind of tree.
yeah.
So
So-
what you could do on that, because
You
I
know-
knew this was gonna come up, 'cause
Yeah.
especially if you look at the picture, really, ooh, I like this one.
Yeah,
But what you could do is, you know, with the proposed locations we have here, there's a set amount of them. And you could just say, okay, we
What
have,
area?
say we have 4, let's say we have 12 spots, we have 4 species. We're gonna do 3 of each, or if you do 3 trees, we're gonna do 4 of each. And then as you get donations and sponsorships, you just say, here's the available 4 or 3, whichever you have. So if somebody takes one and then you say, okay, we have a 3, 3, and a 2 now. And then as people get more involved, and then when it gets down to it, if you only have the 6 trees left, when somebody wants to donate a tree, you just say, it's this one, or vice versa.
So the people that like donate the tree or whatever, it would just be a plaque with their names on it
So,
by that tree.
Well, not even.
well,
that.
that's up to you guys to decide. Not everybody's gonna want that. Some people are just gonna want a tree, you know,
Yeah.
and then the plaque thing,
Gotcha. And
the
not-
way I
okay.
understood it, the plaque thing was kind of and some people only want a plaque, you know? So you might have one person that buys a tree, let's just say
yeah, everybody.
George
wants
buys a
select,
tree,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But let's say George and Ruth just want to put a plaque next to it or something, you know, but the main focus is the trees.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want a
And-
plaque, that's fine. If
Yeah.
you don't, fine.
And
know,
then
it's
you
not-
guys, I think you guys should, you know, narrow the, you know, we gotta have something solid to base on, like Paul saying, we have to have a plan here, you know. These are the 3 types of trees, or the 4 types of trees we're gonna allow. We only want 3 of that one, 3 of that one, 3 of that one. And as it comes, and some people aren't gonna encounter with tree, they just want a tree in the park, you
Right.
know? So you just go down, okay, let's say we had 3 maples, 3, you know, whatever. Okay, boom, now we have 2 maples, 3 and 3, and you just go down the list like that. I honestly think when you guys release this, I think it's gonna go very quick.
Oh, yeah,
There's
there's a lot of
many people
people already
interested.
going to do it,
Yes,
yeah.
I think it's gonna go quick, so you guys need to have something, it doesn't have to be concrete, there can be some leeway, but
Yeah.
I definitely think you need to have a plan. You know, I think you're on the
Personally,
right
the
page.
ones that, I think the ones that provide the most shade are the ones that we should be looking at.
Yep.
You know,
Most of these trees here, is my understanding, is they'll grow at least 50 foot tall
oh,
and
okay.
40 foot wide.
Yeah, they're all very similar, just
So
different.
they're
cut.
all, they're all.
They're
shades.
all full shade, yep, full shade trees,
Okay, all
yep.
right.
What are your thoughts on just the people could, I guess, because like buy or donate a spot, like it'd be spot 1 would be like that orange tree on the, you know, far left. And then we would pick out the trees, or Max would pick out the type of tree that goes there based on, and they would say, these are the 4 trees that are your options. And it'd almost be like a surprise as to what tree would be in your spot.
Well, see, and that is a good point. You could literally, you know, number the slots, let's say. You guys have in your mind what we want it to look like, you know, the autumn blaze and the dogwood, but you just say, okay, position 1, 2, 3, and 4. I like that, Joe. And
But
something like that.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Where, if donations are how we're gonna fund this, and the question is that the different species of trees cost different amounts.
They do.
And the idea is for this to be 100% supported by donations. So it would help a community member to know how much their tree is gonna cost them.
Mhm. I mean, we could like have a, like a, like that might not work where you have a, take the tree that costs the most and then say, this is how much it cost. And then use the rest for something else, but I don't know if that would be appropriate or not. Use the rest for some other parks activity or
Or,
greenery.
or we could average it out. We could say,
I think that's a better
Yeah.
way to do it because,
You could have what?
average it out,
Average it out, yeah,
then everybody pays $300, whatever it
Right.
is.
yeah.
That way, I think, because we're going to be able to cover it. And so if we tell if we put the bulletin out, we're kind of thinking ahead and having to come back, obviously. That we've worked it out, the trees are going to be an average of $300. So you get a tree for $300. You can have this choice or this choice.
Right.
And it'll be $300. That way, it's kind of even though one may cost $400 and one may cost $200, I don't know. So we really need to get a handle on what the average cost is of these trees. And then do we need to pick the kind of trees we want now so that then we can find out what the average cost is? I mean, it's like a chicken and the egg syndrome in a way.
We have rough numbers on the trees. I think first, the biggest thing to make it easier for me and Jeremy specifically, you guys need to choose the species of trees, whether you want 4, 3, 2, whatever, right? And then I think the other thing that's important is, I'm telling you guys right now, you can look at these pictures and 2 of them just stand out, right? To me, the trees. So you don't want everybody to say, oh, I want that one, I want that one. I think with the 10 proposed locations that are on here, we need to stagger. We can't have all the autumn blazes here and then a random.
No, we're going to spread them out.
So yeah, I think if you guys chose, if you want to do all 4 or all 3, but I also think you should assign, okay, if we're gonna do these 4, it's gonna be tree 1, 2, 3, 4, or tree 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because then when it comes time for us, every time, we're not
where
going
it's
to come
going.
back to you guys. If you have a plan, take your plan here and say, okay, the far left one, like Joe was saying, is gonna be an autumn blaze, right? That's a big 40-foot tree. It's gonna be a beautiful red. So, and then what we'll do is we'll just assign that is, tree spot 1.
I
We
think
know it's gonna be an
we should
autumn
number
blaze.
them like that.
Yeah.
Really do.
We know it's an autumn blaze, so when somebody comes and says, I'd like to, donate a tree and 300, whatever the average is, and I want that tree, well, it's gonna be that spot or that spot, you know what I mean?
Because that's where it's been designated to
Right.
be.
Yeah, and that would make it easier for my
Yeah.
staff and the
Yeah.
volunteers too, but then each time,
You know
when
where
this
it's
program's
going,
going, we can just roll with it.
Yeah.
We don't have to keep doing the back and forth, I think, and that's what we want. We want to see it expedited. I think it's gonna go quick. I really do, guys. I think we got 10 spots, pictured here right now.
How many trees do you want to pick out of here? Because that's what we really need to do. I
Yeah,
think,
that's up to you guys. I mean, I think all the trees are beautiful. I really do.
Well, I mean, there's 5 here, that doesn't give us much variety though, does it? If we have 5
Well,
trees.
it's
and
enough,
10
don't you
slots.
think?
Hmm?
It's enough.
Well, yeah, what I meant to say, there's 10 slots and there's 5 trees. Right?
So, well, let me ask a couple questions. Are you satisfied with the locations that are on this tree plan? Or do you
No.
want to change this tree plan?
No,
Okay,
I'm
we
not
need
at
to,
all.
we need to figure that out first.
We need to get specific on location.
Where do you, I've got an overhead
Yeah,
thing right there, so
Well, this,
that's what that is. So y'all mark on there where you want your trees.
well, my number 1 priority is the complaints from the playground.
Yeah.
The shade, how hot it gets. So I'm all for
the big tree.
planting these trees, some of them, around the perimeter of the playground. Set back a bit because according to the master plan, they want to expand the playground. So we have to set those back and keep that in mind. So that's where I'm coming from.
So you're saying add more here? I think this is a good idea. And when we did the walkthrough with the architect, this is not gonna provide the shade, right? I
No.
mean, it will provide shade, but not the shade for playground, but this southern exposure here is very important for two reasons. One, it breaks up the pedestrian traffic at the park with the street. Okay, so that is a very good buffer there. Plus people that park along there, their cars don't get really hot. But I think this is a good break for the park from the rest of the urban surroundings. But I agree with you too, Hall, there's nothing, this is just a plan. This is a concept. This doesn't say we have to do this.
Right.
So if you wanted to run the trees here, I agree with you, Hall. I would hold it out a little bit here and then
Yeah.
keep it out because even if we don't do it for years, at least we have the possibility to expand
To
that.
expand it.
So
That's
if we
it,
did like
see,
here-
because it may be a while.
Yep,
Well,
and we put halls right here, which is an excellent location. That's gonna be big and full there. So, maybe two more here.
Yep.
Maybe something over. I like this idea strictly for the view, just
Yeah.
make it look like a park too, I
Yeah,
think,
exactly.
Yeah.
Which way around is this? I don't know.
So this way is north, right? So this is Hall Street right here. This is Third up here.
Okay,
Yep. So what the plan here is showing, this plan is showing the trees on this side up here, on the south side of the park.
oh, okay,
Yeah, so if you flip it, yep.
I got you.
And what Hall's proposing is starting a row.
Oh,
right
yeah,
outside
I think,
the
oh, yeah, I
park.
think
Yes.
so, because that's one of the things.
Now,
I
is
mentioned
there
about-
a limit to how many trees we can plant?
That you're limited to spacing, keep in mind that, and that's why he kind of strategically placed these, right? And you can't really see it good on the overhead. Joe, I know you got a copy of the picture there. But these trees are set slightly to the north because of the power lines, right? These trees will get much power line.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
So they're
Yeah.
set back from the sidewalk like that for a reason. One, we don't want them disrupting the sidewalk
Oh,
and
yeah.
the city infrastructure, but two, we don't want them growing into the power lines. Because then we're
Right, yeah.
always,
But I mean,
but there's no limit. I mean, you want to keep some open
what they
space.
got right here, can we add more around the playground area and still keep what he's got going along the side?
oh, yeah,
That's what I think you
Yeah.
should do. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, that doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I think these
you know.
10 projected spots are gonna go very quick. So if
Yeah.
you had 16 or you even just 4 more. So yeah, I would say, and it's not that we can't add them later, but we need something to go off of as a Parks Committee and as a city.
Yeah,
okay.
Because if this rolls out, right, let's say it rolls out next month and you have 25 people want to buy a tree,
Oh,
So then we
boy.
can-
I'm hoping, I'm keeping, I'm
Yeah.
optimistic,
I
but
don't see a problem.
I think you guys should add the trees there, but I like the open space. George, Joe, you also mentioned that. A lot of activities happen right here, which is just slightly on the opposite side of Halls. And then over here where the old pits were,
Right, yeah,
but there's no reason you can't continue from Hall's tree and put a couple by the gazebo.
Right.
Put some by the playground,
Yeah.
which would actually take up where the old cottonwood was.
So,
so
yeah,
that's what we need to do, is get them over there.
yeah, I agree.
Your chair's falling apart, George.
It's all that weight that he's carrying.
So, yeah.
Thanks a lot, guy.
Yeah.
See, so what I'm thinking here, there's 5 trees. Do you want to use all 5
Well, that's
species?
what we have to talk about.
Yeah, see,
I think
because,
we need to narrow it down a bit.
well, that's what I'm thinking, because if we only have, well, only, I shouldn't say that. How many said there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
There's
5,
10 on there right now.
10.
Yeah,
And he used all 5 species, that means you're only using
2 would be.
2 of each, and that
Yeah.
seems a little bit.
But I think if you just
No,
carried
bit
what's on
thin.
the south side here right now up to the park where the room is, right? That'd be
Park
1,
with
2,
one
3,
tree.
4, 5 more between your tree hall and the tree that's already proposed. So there's 5 more trees, we could run a line up here, still keeping the openness there. And then it looks like spacing wise, you could probably put 3 more between Paul's tree and the road going north-south. The reason they're spaced that way is the orientation of the trees with the sun. So you can see there's much greater space on the ones on the east side of the
Yeah.
park, right? So the way they're gonna grow based on the sun pattern. So they're gonna grow more out, so there you see it's bigger space. The ones this way are gonna grow more up predominantly and not so much out because of the way that we get the sun, predominantly the sun, so.
So what's the distance? Because it's easy to put lots of little circles here.
I
but
think
where we
if
get-
you
What's
move,
the distance?
if you moved 5 trees up here, so this is the little playground, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can move those up just like
I
that.
see, yeah.
So
okay,
that's
yeah.
5 more trees, it
Yeah.
gives us 15, and then
Yeah.
I think you could comfortably fit at least 2 more between Paul's tree and the other one. Does that make sense? To the south, it's like the first blue one on there, second one from the right.
So where, do you- okay.
So like put the 5 here,
Yeah,
and then maybe 2 more here would almost match this kind of, see the Paul's tree that's already planted. 2 more
Yeah.
there, and that would give you a full square there. And then I like this tree over here, even though he's kind of by himself, but that's kind of the corner and with
well,
that
that's
big
it, that's as you
right
come
away.
in.
Yep.
Yeah,
So you could add, I think you could comfortably add 7 more trees to this, which would give you 17. And Hall's trees are already planted. His is an autumn blaze. Right, Hall?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's 18 trees.
so
An autumn
that's really
blaze is
what
autumn.
you're talking about, like that.
Yes, yep,
Basically.
something similar to that.
Yeah.
Max, mark that down, please.
On this one,
Yeah,
let me steal that from you.
Wait,
Where's the red one?
Yeah, use that, I've got it marked. Yeah. I mean, I didn't put the other 2 on though.
Yep.
We need 3 on here, don't you?
So this one is already here.
Right,
This is Hall.
right.
Joe, we'll hold this up to the camera so you can see what they're working on.
Okay.
Just draw a circle. You don't have to be artistic, you know.
That's true, because I ain't, so let's just go with that. And this, this is only close, this is not exact.
Right.
So let me hold this up for you guys real quick, Tony and Paul. So this is existing, right, your south side of the park.
Mhm.
That's part of the plan. Here's the 2 that were on there.
Hold it up so Joe. can see.
Oh, Joe, yeah, can you see it, Joe?
Yeah, I can see it okay.
So these are the ones already proposed, the
Yeah.
10 right here. This is Hall's tree. So I think you have enough room, you could probably put 3, but 2 more here, north,
Yeah.
south. And then I would say line 5 of them right here, but set it back from the bark like we
Yeah.
talked about. That would give you a full square. You have open space for the kids to play football and stuff like they do. And then we still have all this, like you said, maybe a basketball court down the road or anything, but you're not, it would suck to move a tree down the road. We don't want to get a donated
yeah.
tree and they're like, oh, well, we have to move that to put, a gazebo in. So
Yeah.
if we do this, I mean, that, you're adding 7 more trees, which will give you 18 total, right? And, I mean, obviously, that's opened up for a lot more things, and
How many
Well,
more?
you could add,
so it'd be counting Paul's tree already. It'd be 8
Oh,
more.
I put 6 here, it should be 5.
Yeah, it should be
Okay.
5.
So what
Yeah.
species is going here? Is this the autumn maple, the same as Hall's?
Yeah, so you guys want them the same, or do you want them, that's what you guys need to decide. So you got the autumn blaze up here, which is the
Or the autumn blaze? That's the
Yeah.
tall one.
tall red one, which is the already planted one.
I think they're all about the same height.
They are close to the same height. Yep.
Yeah.
The dogwood doesn't get as
Where's the
full all the way.
autumn, oh, there is, no, is that it?
I don't know if mine's on there.
So that one is very similar to Hall's, this one.
Okay, which is Hall's?
This tree right here, the one that's
Yeah,
already
we have the
planted.
color, is it on here?
It is a red one. It's autumn blaze. Yep.
Oh,
I think it's that last one. It's
Oh,
close.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not
gotcha.
marked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, if you guys first narrow down species,
Yep.
right? So we got 18 spots. One's already been taken with the autumn blaze, so,
Yep.
which is in the packet.
Right.
So if you guys want to narrow it down to 3 trees, 4 trees, I mean, you can keep all 5.
Yeah.
But then you need to kind of figure out cohesive. We don't want all red trees.
Oh,
right
no, we're
here,
gonna have
all-
to spread them around a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, is there any horticultural problem if you put one kind of a tree next to another? Do they
So,
fight? And
We asked that, keep only proposed trees that
Yeah.
grow good together.
That's what I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
And that's what,
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause I like that desert ash. The golden. desert
yeah, I
ash.
like that one. I like that.
That
That'd
would
be a
make
beautiful
good
tree.
with the
Yep.
red, with the autumn blaze.
Now, the other thing we have to consider is possibly, I know that the kids say this is Third Street. The kid's been tossing a football near the street this way. And if we plant trees there, I'm hoping they will move to this space over here at the west end of the park
Play football.
to
But
toss
even
the
if you
ball.
planted here, I mean, that's still a lot of room. That's almost as wide as a regular football field.
Well,
Tree to
that's,
tree.
that's true. That's true.
Because, you know, usually when they play ball, they stay between the sidewalk that goes to the gazebo
They
and
do.
you, and they stay off the hillside. These trees will be very close to that dip from the sidewalk that's already natural. So you're not gonna lose a lot of real estate there
Yeah.
at all. I mean, that's still a huge area. And then, you know, you still have the area on the other side, and then, of course, the big area here.
Yeah, and because we have to remember, these trees, I think all of them are eventually gonna grow 50 to 60
Yeah, that's what we need
feet
to
tall
do,
and
yeah.
up and 40 foot wide
Okay.
approximately.
And, you know, and when they get to be mature trees, you know, we can get an arborist in here and we could definitely shape them, because they're not gonna grow perfect like that, you know.
No.
Some of, we'll get lucky on some of them, but
Yeah.
we will have to, you know, in 15, 20 years, because it's gonna take a little bit, we will have to shape them and keep them healthy and prune them, and, yeah.
And we can also plant trees east of the park, of the playground.
Yep, so,
East,
so the proposed ones here, I think you should keep the ones here, right? And then leave the space like we talked about.
Yep.
Remember, we talked
Yeah.
about when we dividing this up, we talked about leaving the current parking lot a little bit there.
right.
But not doing anything above it, because, you know, what if we extend the
But
parking
not
lot
do
more?
something
for you?
different, yeah,
That's right.
exactly, yeah.
So I think if you stayed to the west of the existing parking lot, where
Yeah.
the two already proposed in the
Yep.
architect's
Right,
plan,
Yep.
exactly.
added the row close to the park, that's 5 by the playground, and then, you know, I'm just putting 2 here because of how he has it spaced over. You might be able to get 3, but I mean, if we just stuck with 2 with 18 trees, that's a pretty good thing start.
Yeah,
I really think that's a
Yeah,
good start.
I think that would be,
So how many trees have we got now then?
1. Oh, total,
Total,
18 trees.
18.
Yep, with halls that's already planted. So 17 available for the donation tree program. So yeah, now you guys need to narrow down the trees. That would be.
Okay. I feel like I see 4 options on the tree plan. I sort of, if there's 18 spots, I feel like that having all 4 options available would be beneficial. Just because they might, you know, change color different times of the year.
So Joe,
Like,
on the
help-
legend up here, the legend on the right of the concept plan, I know there's
Yes.
only 4 dots, but there's actually 7 trees listed.
I see. I didn't realize.
All that means is the trees are similar, they're just a different color. I mean, you can, I looked these up because I don't know trees by their scientific names. but
Yeah.
it showed you many of them here. But yeah, so like the very last one, both those trees are very similar.
So let's, we can pull up some pictures. Let's look up
I can't see it without my glasses.
autumn blaze.
Yep, and that's what, so that is what Hall planted. That's the one that's currently installed. Yep,
You see that, Joe?
I probably will just, yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
That's autumn, that's the red category. You could do autumn blaze maple, or you could do red sunset maple.
Okay.
So that's a red sunset maple.
I see.
So that's the red category.
Okay, so that red sunset maple is a pretty good one, I think.
yeah, so that there, you can see the difference in the pictures. It's very similar to the autumn blaze that Hall installed. So they're both a red tree. The leaf
Yep.
is slightly, and the canopy, this isn't a good judge because you can see all the different types of canopies.
yeah,
We will
Yeah.
shape the, if we let it go natural, it usually does the big round shape almost,
Yeah,
but we want more of the shade style, you know, more
Right.
bushy out like
Out,
this, and
yeah,
skinny on top.
yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that would be the red options, and
Yeah.
I think you guys would want to narrow it down to 1 red tree.
I
You know,
think
just
so
say
too. Oh,
this,
because look
I
at
agree.
this, you've
Yeah.
got some of the shades
but
here.
there is 7 trees listed here. He was just trying to give us a good cohesive, what would go in the park, and he knew the colors of the trees, looking at it, that's why he proposed these.
I mean, this golden desert ash is a nice.
That's a
color.
beautiful tree. The ash is a beautiful tree.
So let's, with the red category, which one do you like better? Autumn blaze maple or red sunset maple?
The red sunset, I think, myself personally.
But we already have an autumn blaze installed.
Let's go with that then.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very similar if you look, it just,
Oh, well then.
the
then-
time of year
then
picture's taken.
Scrub that one then.
But I mean, it doesn't say you don't have to, that would just be, that, you know, it's
Well-
still gonna fit with the rest of the trees.
Yeah. But we need more variety though, don't we?
Yeah,
So,
I like the golden desert ash.
so let's stick with the red like Jeremy said, so let's, you guys wanna do autumn blaze for the red, since we already have one in the park?
Yeah.
Paul, are you good with that? Also,
What?
we'll make the red category the autumn blaze, since there's already one in. Joe, you're in support of that, right?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, so let's do the red categories of autumn blaze.
Okay, there's only one purple,
Yeah,
autumn purple ash.
that's that ash.
Oh, that, yeah, okay, that's true.
That's a beautiful tree.
Okay,
I got it pulled up on the screen.
Yep, there it is right there.
Yeah,
It's a
okay.
beautiful tree.
that golden desert ash, where would that fit with this?
So,
That is the third category.
Yeah.
There's actually a couple of them. There's a wildfire. We'll have Jeremy pull up there so you can see them.
okay, here's the golden desert ash.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, I do.
Yes, yeah.
And here's the black tupelo.
Yeah, wildfire.
The black what?
It's called a black tupelo.
I don't have that on this here. What are you talking about?
It's just on here, Paul, as the color options under each one of the subcategories.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice tree.
There we go, there's the black tupelo.
Yeah, that's cool.
So you can choose black tupelo ash, which is this, or golden desert ash.
Well, we've already got red one, right?
We do, yeah.
Yeah.
So the one that Paul included in the packet is the golden ash, the one that Jeremy has pulled up right now. I think that'd be a good color
Yeah.
for your
I agree.
yellowish color.
So you like the golden desert ash?
Yes, yes.
Because the black
Yeah.
torpedoes get more of a red, like a cherry color,
Yeah.
dark
Okay.
red.
Okay,
And then that, for a bright color, that Florida dogwood.
So yeah, he's got a couple of them on here. He's got
Okay.
the Florida dogwood. Jeremy's pulling up here.
I like that one.
Florida dogwood.
Yep, and depending on the soil, sometimes it's purple, as you can see there.
This is the state flower of my home state, North Carolina.
Oh, you gotta have it.
Oh, well,
Oh, well.
oh, no pressure.
All right.
This is
All right.
the
All right.
flower resembles the cross.
Oh, it does.
Oh, really?
On
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Oh,
That is a beautiful.
That's a nice flower, that, I mean, a nice tree.
Yeah.
that, Yeah.
And then the other one's a forest pansy.
Are we going to pick that one? Oh, sorry.
So you have three options.
Hmm.
Next is a forest pansy. There you go, there's a forest pansy. Or you could do the pansy red bud.
Is Joe getting all this?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So here's a pansy red bud.
That's almost like a black cherry.
it does, yeah.
Yeah, I got one. now.
I like the one, the
I like the
dogwood.
white.
I like the white, I
The
do.
white, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Dogwood it
Paul,
is.
do you like the white one?
Yeah.
With
You're
the-
talking the white one, Jeremy.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Florida dogwood.
and we'll just rename that to the Jeremy tree.
Yeah.
No. Okay, so there's your 4 trees. Everybody's in consensus with that. Joe,
One,
I heard Joe.
2, 3.
I'm good with those.
Okay,
Yeah, I am too.
I think that's enough variety.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
definitely
and
agree.
it's a good range of colors.
It is.
Okay, so for the 7 new trees that you're adding, what species are those gonna be?
Well, as we go along, I guess we have. Well, well, there's 5 varieties, 4.
4.
4 varieties.
Yep.
Right? And with this corner one would be, what did you say that was?
So what that's marked as, although you guys haven't set that, but what that's marked as is that would be the autumn blaze.
Right.
According to the color
Okay.
pattern
Yeah.
that we just decided, and then it would go 2 ashes. Right, just on looking at this color diagram that you guys can change it. So right now it's set to go, and we're going left to right on
Yeah,
the south side of the
yeah.
street. So you got autumn blaze, ash. Then you got I think it was
Well,
what was the third one called, Jeremy?
The desert ash.
Well, golden desert ash.
desert ash. So you got 3 of those, and then it looks like you have another of the second ash, the second tree. And then it goes down to the bottom one, which we just chose,
Dogwood.
2 of those. Yep, and then you're moving up north, and then the last one looks like it was another autumn blaze. That's just what when he color coded these, just kind of an idea he was putting out. So what Jeremy's asking is the 7, the 5 we added by the playground, and the 2 over here, what do we want those to be, species wise?
Well, we've got 4 here, right?
Yep,
And we're gonna come down from Paul,
from Hall's
Paul's
tree and add 2. Yep,
Add 2, and we've got the ash at the bottom.
yep, we got a blaze at the top at Hall's tree,
Yeah.
and you got an ash at the south side.
Yeah, so we should do those 2.
So do an ash coming up and then another blaze. So you
Yeah.
got blaze, blaze, ash, ash.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay,
Mark that down on.
can I see that marker again, please?
How about blaze, ash, blaze?
We could do that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
so
on
you
that
want,
side,
like, staggered every other.
yeah.
Yeah, mix them up.
Okay, so we got ash. Blaze. Ash. Okay, now let's do the
Now we've got 4 to do inside,
5.
across, right?
5. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 5, sorry,
Yep, and let's just go left to right.
correct.
Is Joe still with us?
Joe's
Yep,
on
I'm
there.
still with us, and I sort of feel like we should, on those 5, have maybe like 3 dogwoods in there, because we don't have very many dogwood.
Right, so you don't want to do the dogwoods in the middle?
I would,
You guys want to
that
stagger
would
them?
look nice.
I think the 3 in the middle, kind of the centerpiece, so let's do, we'll do a dog here. A dog here, and a dog here. And then we need 1 on the left and 1 on the right. So they'll both be close. On the left side, it's gonna be close to an autumn blaze and an ash.
Right, right.
On the right side, that last tree there that's proposed is already an autumn blaze. So you could do really, you could do anything there.
Maybe
Which
a
one
desert ash there, a golden desert ash.
Which one was the the purple key one?
No,
That's
it's
the
the
desert,
yellowish one.
yeah, that's the desert ash.
Yellow. That one.
Yeah,
Oh, the desert ash, okay.
yeah, yeah.
So that
yeah.
would be a desert. I did dessert, but I think you'll.
That's okay, we know what
I
it is.
think you know what I mean, Jerry.
We can eat it when it's right.
Okay. So, why don't you guys just look at this? We'll pass it around quick and I'll hold it up for Joe to see.
Yeah,
So,
because you know what you've got.
so
right.
these,
Yeah.
we're just gonna use the predetermined he made in the
Right,
key.
yeah,
So we got Hall's tree, then we'll do a ash, another blaze, which is that ash. And then moving left to right, desert ash, dogwood, 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 desert ash.
good.
You like that?
I think that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Let me look at it real
Yeah,
quick, Tony. So yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
match the color key, what you guys decided there,
Mhm.
and then falls, ash, 3 dogwoods, and then desert ash.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Mr. Hall,
Yeah,
so we'll keep these, the color code you guys just chose, right?
yeah,
And then this is your tree, then we'll
Yeah.
do an ash here, this one.
Yeah.
Your tree again, ash. 3 dogwoods in the middle, and then desert ash, which is the yellow looking one,
yeah,
and desert ash, and it'll end at another autumn blaze.
yeah. And all these are,
That's what we just voted on, yeah, so we assigned 1 to each of these colors. Yep,
okay, but these are going here.
well, we're just putting 5 more here, yeah, I was just putting the name of the tree.
Right.
Because I don't have the right color to color code it. Yep,
Okay. All right.
you like it?
Yeah, and then, once we deal with this, we need to deal with this area.
This area here?
Yeah.
Yep, I think this, we should wait till this gets split up.
Split up.
Because like I said, I could see maybe putting the concrete here for a half-court basketball possibly, or making the parking lot bigger, putting more picnic tables,
Yeah.
you know.
My thought with the parking lot, we can always move it west to enlarge it.
True. Yep, yeah, because that line, the meeting we had is gonna be roughly like It's like 15 feet right here, roughly. So you still got some real estate.
Yeah.
So you're
that-
good with the tree locations?
Yeah, as long as we have space for the kids to toss the
We have,
football.
this space is a lot bigger than it looks, here and here.
All right.
Yep.
Show me what you got there. So I can mark it up.
Oh, you can, okay.
Yeah, how
Sorry,
you gonna,
Joe.
how you gonna put that on?
No,
the
no
drawing?
problem.
So we actually got 3 down here,
So we got 3 here.
3.
Yep.
right? 3, and then we got 5
And
across.
then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, yep, just like that.
Wait a minute,
All right,
have you got
so-
too many on that?
Ash, blaze, ash, ash, blaze, ash.
You got one more tree out of it, but that's what we're going with. I think we have the room to do 3.
Oh, really?
I think we do. Look at the distance on the spread on it. We did talk about only adding 2, but if we
Yeah.
add 3 for the color cohesion, that's up to you guys.
Ash,
Yeah.
dog,
I don't know if you can do that, Jeremy. Be
And
great.
then another, the last one's a desert ash, the 5th one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
it's over, where is it?
We're just gonna,
Going
these
across,
5 here,
yeah.
we're just gonna move them straight up
It's
kind
still
of in
gonna
the
be
same.
over here, okay.
Yeah, yep, it'll just be that one up, just like that.
And then this last one is ash,
This one, yep, desert ash.
desert ash, okay.
Yep.
So we got ash, autumn blaze, ash, ash, dogwood, 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 ash.
Yeah, it's a nice variety.
Yep, I think it'll look nice.
So we're talking 18 trees.
So actually, we'll be adding one more, yep. So Halls would make the 19th tree, and it's already planted. So this would open up 18 trees for donation.
Yeah, so don't be thinking about taking my tree.
Oh, sure.
What I'd like to do is present this at the council meeting, and I want to put this in a formal recommendation sheet.
Yeah,
And then we'll have the chairman sign and have him present this at the
city council.
city council meeting.
Yeah.
Good,
So let's summarize everything that we
yes.
talked here. We have a recommended action, city council approval of a modified tree plan based on the tree plan that Doherty Landscape Architects prepared to add
So we're adding 8 additional. Yep,
Well,
8 additional trees near the picnic shelter and playground, consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4 ash, 1 autumn blaze, and 3 dogwood. Is that correct?
3
you've
dogwood.
got it there.
Oh, he's got it.
Jeremy's got it, right?
So we got 2 ash and then 2 desert ash. I don't know if that makes a difference, but
2 desert ash,
yep, and then 2 regular of this ash. The trophies ash. I think.
2 purple
Yeah,
ash. Let me share this so Joe can see what I'm doing. All right, and 3 dogwood, okay.
yep, and then the other ones we assign, yeah, those will just match. Yep.
The species, and I'll redo the,
Yeah, will you have to analyze this? And will it be easier to analyze this for the city council?
yeah,
And
yeah,
circle it in here.
I'll mark it on there. I just want to
Yeah.
verbalize everything so
Yeah.
we're in agreement.
And we can color
It'd
code.
be better than doing it on that, yeah.
Autumn blaze, maple. Oh, which one?
Oh, let me see your selection sheet there.
I'll check
So
them,
the
I'll
number,
check
the
them all.
top
Yeah,
one,
go
the
on.
top key is the
What do you
number
call it?
1.
Number 1, number 2, number
Yep.
3?
Did you mark 1, 2, 3, didn't you?
Yeah. No, I didn't. I just
So
checked
1
them
is
all.
autumn blaze, Jeremy, the top
Mhm.
key. The second one is the purple ash.
I got it now.
Oh, you got, okay. Perfect. Yeah,
Okay, the next thing is we're going to
average the price.
donations based on average cost per tree. All right, are we gonna have a landscaper come in and do this, or do we want to have the public works crew do this?
I think the landscapers, I don't want to take work away from these guys, and there's some technical stuff involved in planting these trees. And I want to make sure that they get it done correctly.
So, again, cart before the horse a bit here. Yes, that's good. However, would they give us, I'm not going to get all these trees together all in one go.
Well, that's so,
That's
I
what
think
I'm-
we're gonna have to look at it.
that's what I'm going, that's
If
what
you
I'm
guys
going.
did,
see.
you know,
Yeah.
maybe like a program, like not plan them as soon as they buy them, even
Right,
though
right.
people are in a rush to get them in, which I understand.
Yeah.
But if you set a goal, right, and maybe what you do is you have 18 trees coming.
Yeah,
So let's say we get total 9 donations, we have them come out, because yes, you're right, if they have to come out for each tree,
yeah.
the
it's
price per
just-
tree is gonna go through the roof.
This is it. If we could get an idea from in
But if you did. like,
in
even
three
if-
sections.
Or 3 sections,
Yeah.
yep, so when we get 6 trees, boom, we'll have them come out, they already have the truck
Yeah.
with the dirt, they'll stake them, the good thing, I'm fine with doing it like Paul said, but the good thing about having them do it is we do get the tree warranty,
Hmm.
right? They stake it, they did everything, they did an excellent job on holes, I mean, it looked professional, this is what they do for a living, you know,
Well, this is it, and then you're there to supervise.
that's
which
right,
we are
and
not
we-
capable
and we
of
can
doing,
maintain
yeah.
and everything else, yeah.
No, I think we should do it in 3 lots.
It's,
And if we
yeah.
can find out from them that we have 18 trees to do in groups of 6, what price can you give us? Then we can average
I
it
can
out.
pull up the price quote if you want to see it. You want to see the price quotes?
Well,
They,
sure,
yeah, they gave us a quote price per
Oh, did-
tree,
okay.
yeah, yep.
So which one was cheaper, Max? Was it Schlesky or Graham?
Ooh. I think it was Schlutsky, I think.
So I don't, if you don't mind me asking, Paul,
You
what
can
did you-
ask me anything.
well, you won't tell me anyway. What was the cost of your tree?
Secret.
No, that's fine. That's
No,
fine.
I tell you right now. I went to Rogers Nursery off 42nd. I bought a 10-foot tree for $60. But I know there's been some talk about larger trees to get quicker shade.
And he got a very good
I-
deal on that tree.
I see. Now, the people that put yours in, is it the same people we are talking about?
So we received quotes from 2 people. The people that planted halls was Grand Landscape, who we used to do the irrigation, and they were actually on site doing a different
I
job for the city
see.
already.
Yeah,
Yes,
so they give you a good,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we have a quote of 5,970. That was for 2, 4, 7, 10 trees. So $597 per tree.
Over $500 per
It
tree.
includes the tree.
Yeah.
Does that include the planting?
That's everything.
That's everything.
Oh, okay.
They supply the tree, they dig the hole, they stake it.
That's labor, landscape materials, the soil, fertilizer tablets, tree stakes, 2-inch caliper trees, the delivery. So when you average it out, we're looking at about $600 if you want to plant a tree.
Okay, 600 per tree.
Can you see that, Joe?
I can, yes.
Okay, so we have 18 trees. now,
18
right?
trees,
Yeah.
yep.
18 times, so 20 times 600.
And, well, I don't want to, look, and during talking about this, what's the next thing to discuss on the tree thing?
If you want to have the public works crews put the trees in or a professional landscaper.
I want the landscapers.
Yeah, landscapers. Well, we want it done properly. It's going to be here for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think, we need to bite the bullet.
We need to do it right first
You know,
I mean, it
Well,
was
and-
quite a process.
Well, and
Yeah.
and people, $600 is a lot of money,
yeah,
and somebody donates a tree, or maybe, some families might go in together. They're gonna wanna see that tree when they take their kids or their
Oh,
grandkids,
yeah.
years and years.
Yeah,
you see,
We're not
'cause
landscapers, I'll tell you guys,
No,
that.
that's
Not that
it.
we don't know how.
that's what I was asking the question
Well,
about two
and
trees
you also-
together and so forth, because I wouldn't know, that'd just dig a hole and throw something in.
Well,
it,
you
know?
also said if you use a landscaper or whatever, that it comes with a warranty.
It does, we requested that when we sent out the
So-
RFP for
well,
it.
that's good, yeah.
If I have Max plant mine, he said it wouldn't come with a warranty.
No, you warrant, you got it across the street every day till you
That's
can.
it.
Yeah.
And you'd have to go out there and water it yourself.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is everybody agrees that a professional should come in and do this work?
Yes.
Yeah, in
yeah.
a group of
Six,
six
six
trees.
a group of six at a time.
Yeah,
In a group,
Hold the trees until we have six.
okay?
And then, when's a good time to plant these? Is there a good time?
So
Is any
we
time?
asked that many times, we asked the architect and we asked the local landscape, and really anytime. You don't want to do it during deep freeze or something.
Well,
They
yeah,
did
because the
say,
weather's pretty mild.
they
here,
said there
really.
was preferred times, but with the irrigation system that we have and having them come out and maintenance in it and continue to get fertilizer, there's no right or wrong time to plant it. That's what they told us
yeah.
right out of the gate. So yeah, there's no restrictions on it.
So we have, what's the word, 5 rice, is that correct?
Is there more on the agenda for tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, and you better get back to work.
Yeah, I got a closer store.
Yeah, well, we don't want it open all night.
No, we don't, no. How many trees did we finish up with? 5?
18,
No, 5 varieties.
four species.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, let me write this down. Right, because I was going to type up a flyer.
Okay.
So are you headed out, Tony?
Yeah, I gotta go back to work.
Okay, I'll note for the minutes that Tony Marisi is leaving at 8:26 PM.
Okay,
Put this paycheck.
if there's anything, you can just email me.
Sounds good?
All righty, thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
All righty, I will see you tomorrow.
Okay, have a good night.
I
Tony.
can take these with me, right?
That's
Yeah.
yours.
Okay, good.
That's your bedtime reading, Tony.
How you doing there, Joe?
I'm hanging in there.
It's tough when you lay in bed, Joe, what's listening to this.
Okay.
Well, you know,
See you later.
when we first talked, about it, we were guessing that it could be $400, so we're pretty close, really.
And, let's stick with the plan you guys had developed here. And maybe when we reach out to them again, maybe, we're doing 6, maybe it could lower a little bit. You
Yeah.
never know. And it could go the opposite way too. These quotes are a little bit old, they're only good for so long.
Well, we're going to have 18.
Stuff continues, well, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
So if they know they're gonna come back 2 more times or, yeah.
So, let's talk about the monuments. What are we doing with the monuments?
Well, it's all kinds of plaques, really. I mean, what style do you want? Something that's readable?
Well, we need to be specific, I think.
Oh, yeah, we need to have them all the same,
Yes.
you know.
You're gonna come back at a later time?
Yes,
and-
I think so,
Well,
Jeremy. and
you're
this-
gonna have
yeah.
to set, you're gonna have to set rules. I think any
Yeah.
proposed plaque's gonna have to be approved by parks because you want it to be appropriate.
Yeah, we need to be
And you do
uniform
want
as
some
well.
cohesiveness. You
Yeah,
do.
exactly,
So-
so I think we could table that to a future meeting, Jeremy, really.
Okay,
Or you
Yeah,
can do one.
well, I sort of feel like that one could be like maybe some people from the town, like that sculptor that was here, like maybe they have some ideas. Says, here's some proposals and then we could vote on some or something like that. That would sort of fit with our plan and also maybe be local if possible in some way, at least the design. I don't know. So,
so, Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna summarize everything, just make sure I got it.
Yeah.
If it's correct, I'd like to ask that the committee approve a motion so that we can take this to city council on the 15th.
Okay.
So here's what I have. The planning and the Parks and Recreation Committee is recommending that city council approve a tree plan based on the tree plan that Doherty Landscape Architects prepared by adding with the modification to add 8 additional trees. There's picnic shelter in the playground. These new trees consist of 2 the desert ash, 2 purple ash, 1 autumn blaze, and 3 dogwood. The selected species for all of the trees to be planted are autumn blaze, maple, autumn purple ash, golden desert ash, and dogwood. Donations from the public should be based on an average cost per tree. It is the intention that this program should be funded 100% by donations. A professional landscaper should install the trees in a group of 6 at a time, or whatever is most cost effective. And the committee will develop plaque design guidelines at a later time.
Yeah.
Can you go back to where the trees are being planted? I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing trees along the street. Right?
Yeah.
And I want to see the trees near the park first, or playground.
Yeah, so what I'm understanding is you're approving the tree plan, but you're adding 8 trees. And those additional 8 trees are going to be near the picnic shelter and the playground.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you're not, Paul, you're not saying that we're planting the street ones first or whatever. We'll get 6 or 12 trees, whatever we come up with, and we can start by the playground. like you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, we don't have to
Yeah,
start, this is tree 1, 2, 3.
No,
Yeah,
no.
got it. Got it.
no, I agree. We could start by the playground. Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and I can add, the professional landscaper is installing a tree group of 6 at a time, starting with the playground area.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See, and that will please a lot of people.
it will.
That really will.
Okay, does that summarize what you want to do?
Yeah, now,
pretty much.
if I remember correctly, the mayor was questioning how we were going to raise the money and what we were going to do. And I already had a rough outline which failed to materialize in front of the council. You know, tree plan your roots in Lowell. What was the title of the, putting something out, you know, a flyer in the bridge outline. Only pre-selected types of trees allowed. Now we know that we've got 4 species, you know. If you still want me to do it, I can redo it, you know. Costs could be shared by 2 groups. Families don't want to preclude anyone, and the cost is likely to be, which I didn't fill in, you know. I can redo it and I'll run it by you to see if it's.
So I don't, Jeremy can type in, I don't think you have to have something agreed upon on that. I think you could do an announcement in the bridge.
Yeah.
Facebook, but I think you should collectively come up with the design as a team, you know, maybe if you, because I like what you were doing there. We know that the price is 600 right now, roughly.
Yeah.
But what you could do, George, is type it up. It doesn't have to go to council approval,
No,
but
no.
type it up, let Hall look at it, let Tony, let.
Oh,
Joe.
yeah. I mean,
And
that-
then when you
yeah.
guys have what you want, let's get it to Marine to get in the bridge. Let's
Yeah.
get the city hall.
Well, that
to
was
get
the
on
idea.
Facebook.
You
Yeah.
you see, that's.
And
what I
then we
was
can
doing.
post it at the store. We could post, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we need to have an idea what.
You do,
it is
yeah.
we're doing. See, it's just,
And we
just
know, a
rough
lot of
outline,
people know
but
we're working on it for sure,
Yeah.
so they're waiting for this. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's a good
Yeah.
idea. I really do.
understood why, and so I just changed some things. But there again, we needed something in right.
Right. Yep.
To put out there.
I agree.
And, in the bridges, is probably the best place to do it.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, because, you know, we've had people reach out that don't just live in Lowell. We've had people
yeah.
from Fall Creek
Yeah.
reach out about the tree program. so.
Yeah. See, and then from here, thinking way down,
Right.
we can start to expand in other places that's possibly to plant trees. We don't have much in town because we don't have any dirt on the road, really. It's all county stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But there's possibility.
Well, there's still another park as well.
Yeah, right,
There is,
Exactly.
and there's
You know,
there's a
room-
lot of other open
We
There's
spaces.
just
room
need
there,
to stick
yeah.
with
Keep in
this.
mind, you know, when the library city hall renovation's
Yeah.
done, we're gonna have some landscaping. but-
We just need to stay on track with this.
Correct.
Okay, so
Exactly.
Jeremy's looking for, I think he needs a motion or some kind of direction.
The recommended motion I have is is recommending that city council approve the tree plan as presented by the city administrator.
I make a motion that we approve the tree plan by the city administrator. Is that right?
Yeah, you got it.
Any, do we have a second?
Should be modified. Well, no, you've typed in what
Yeah.
the difference is, yeah, yeah, so, yeah,
Have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, it's passed.
Great, I'll firm up this language. I'll have Paul sign it.
Yeah.
And then I'll have you present this to the council at the next meeting, and then I'll ask them to vote to approve it.
Okay. All right.
See, got a plan. I like it. Plan in motion.
Well, that's good. What's the next one we're going down here?
There's a Paul Fisher. And then
Is that right?
Yep.
Right.
I had asked the council several times to walk through Paul Fisher to get a sense of what kind of repairs be needed. They weren't interested. I basically have an idea of what repairs need to be needed. So I don't want to bust the park budget at the same time. So we need to prioritize, I feel, pick out the minor repairs that we can do. It won't bust the budget. I have a readout from Jerry's as far as like 2 of the benches need to be replaced. And Jerry's has composite material under green that assuming you can cut up just like regular wood, and we can replace those. That's one deal. And then there's some painting going on I would like to see done. My first priority for me would be sink those wellheads below grade. Definitely a safety hazard. You know which ones we're talking about?
I only know one.
Yeah, see, that's why we need to do a walkthrough. And if we're going to expand eventually the playground, then I don't know if we should repair the curbing or not. I don't know. So there are things to be done at the parks. I know there's things to be done at Rolling Rock. I understand that, but since my focus is always on Paul Fisher, since I'm staring at it every day. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. And anybody have any thoughts?
I like your idea of maybe doing a walkthrough. Maybe both parks, and then coming up with a list of priorities, like you said, that we can fix a volunteer, and then stuff that might require somebody else to do. I like that idea to get started.
If you get a good plan together, let's say you guys do a walkthrough as a committee, in a couple weeks, right? Pick a day it works. You guys don't have to be together, Joe can go walk it by himself, make notes, but if you have a good plan, depending on how COVID and stuff goes, for our Parks Community Day, we could have one of the projects be the painting, right? My staff can take care of the wellhead salt. We will take care of that, but you could do like the painting, the bench and stuff. You could do a partnership with the school woodshop program. They have interiors, or there's other people in the community. But yeah, if you make a list, and it doesn't have to be something about, but as long as you guys have a general agreement on it, paint is not that expensive. It's time for somebody to sit there and paint it and prep it, You've done that historically in the past, Paul.
Mhm.
The benches, we have enough manpower capabilities here with Joe and everybody. Tony is a phenomenal carpenter. Okay, so if you guys, I think that's a good idea. Get a plan. You can give me some, get some direction to city administrator, so you can give me and my staff some direction also.
Yep.
But yeah, and I agree, Joe, I think it's a good idea to walk both parks.
Yeah.
There is a lot of work to be done at both parks, but yes, how you look at that park every day, and it is right now the most used park, so I agree on that.
And that's why we've made that the
I
priority.
agree. Yep, I agree.
It is a family park.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to get together as a committee and do a walkthrough, both parks. I mean, we can even do it on a Saturday, which is fine with
And
me.
maybe you can get some of your, some of the city council would come as well then.
Well, no comment.
Yeah, a Saturday might work for me. Or I could, like Max was sharing, maybe if I had to do it a separate day, then I could get that info to U-Haul. If it didn't work out.
I think it may be better to do it as a group because we can discuss as we go along.
Yeah,
So
it would.
Saturday's better for me too.
I think if everybody showed up, then we would have to hold a meeting, right, Jeremy? Do we have to open a session for that? If all 5 committee members showed up,
Not really. We're not having a meeting. We're just observing and taking.
Taking notes.
Yeah, I don't think so, but
Okay.
it would be safe to at least have a notice that the Parks Committee will be meeting to do a
Okay.
walkthrough.
Yeah, to review what, needs to be
Yeah.
done kind of thing.
well, I think
Yeah.
that's gonna kind of flow into your next
Yeah.
item too, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would be more than willing to be a part of that too. I'm
How about
pretty
the
flexible.
12th of February? That's a Saturday.
I think the next week would work better for me, if possible, the next Saturday.
Or
That
the
would be-
19th.
18th, yeah.
What did he say?
We
19.
lost-
19th.
19th would work better for me.
You're a very busy person, Joe.
Yeah, but a Saturday, I'm impressed.
At what time?
10?
I think that would work for me.
All right, I'll set my alarm.
Will somebody send an email and include me in that, please?
Yeah.
We send an
Yeah.
email or have Jeremy send an
Yeah.
email. Oh,
I could come up if you want.
True.
So Saturday, the 19th
Yeah.
at 10 a.m.
At Paul Fisher Park.
And then are we gonna go straight from there to Rolling Rock, or is that another day?
Oh, I don't know, really.
see how your time
I,
goes.
Yeah,
maybe it would depend on how long it takes us to go through Paul Fisher, but I think it'd be smart to do Rolling Rock the same day, if possible.
right.
All right, so let's start out at Paul Fisher at 10 o'clock and take it from there.
Mhm.
All right.
And if it looks good, then we'll head over to Rolling Rock. Everybody,
Uh-oh, Joe.
Oh, you got something going on? On the 19th?
No, I'm fine. I thought you had the way you were saying.
Oh, no. February 19th. 10 o'clock.
All okay?
Nice.
Good.
that okay, Joe?
That should be okay.
All right. And then we'll probably hopefully have time for Rolling Rock that same day.
That sounds good.
All right. Let's make that our goal. Well, next on the agenda is setting priorities for 2022.
I believe that would be more appropriate for your next meeting after you've had a chance to go through the parks and
Parks.
come up with the to-do list.
All right,
My hope with that is for you to pick out some major projects, 2 or 3, 4, maybe 5 things that you want to accomplish so that I can factor that into the budget process. I'm going to be starting the budget process in March, so that'll be good timing.
yeah.
I can factor in what you'd like to do into the budget, so. I believe it'd be more productive to wait until your March meeting.
Well, I'd already done a list here, so you can have a look at it.
Okay, great.
And go from there, but what I thought anyway. I'm sure there's other stuff.
Pass one down to Holger, please.
Well, you already got a head start on us.
Sorry.
Well, you can cross the first one off.
Fine.
It's done.
Oh, is it?
The
Done, done.
sprinklers are already in.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, but is it sprinkling?
Well, not
Yeah.
right now, but it was, yeah,
Yeah,
all last summer. Well, it was late summer, don't get me wrong, it was
That's
late
good.
summer, but
All right.
yes.
let me tell you, 2 AM,
Yeah.
they're going there.
First couple.
Anyway, this is just, but I think number 3 is critical again now to get that going.
I agree. When we're getting up, usually, I think historically, you guys started that into April, right? The first nomination was April, we put the
Right,
sign
yeah,
May.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was quite a popular thing,
was.
Yard of the Month competition. We gave a gift certificate at some horticultural place or whatever. And it became quite good. And
Well, and a lot of people took part in the
Yeah.
yard.
the city administrator would go around with his camera and take pictures. And that gave him a chance to really look at all that properties as he did his rounds. And then we would come to the parks meeting and select from the pictures we had. And then some people would give us a picture.
But, or it was nomination driven, right?
Right,
Yep,
exactly.
yeah, yep.
And it got quite popular,
it did.
really. So I think it's time we could do that.
I
now.
still have the signs and everything, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Since everybody's here and you already brought it up, I would like to discuss number 2, if you guys are open to me discussing that.
Yes,
Because after the last meeting, I did do a little bit of research on those. I will explain to you guys, there is tons of options, obviously. But all of them, there is no such thing as a budget friendly or inexpensive option. But I'm not saying, hundreds of thousands.
Joe, we're talking about temporary or
oh, did you
canopies.
see this?
Yeah,
You
here.
can't see the text on it.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can't?
so we're
That's
talking
okay.
about. I looked on my own just because for one, we got a parks catalog in the mail, it's appropriate work, and I was also here at the last city council meeting. So I looked just out of curiosity. There is, I'm not kidding you guys, use your imagination and they make it in the shade. From architectural to beautiful designs to ones that just look good but don't do any shade. And a very large range of cost. And I'm referring to having, buying something that's made for parks, not us going to buy and throw some. Large range in price. And I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying that when you guys do your walkthrough, keep this in mind, because even if we got all the trees planted tomorrow,
Yeah, we're not.
there's not gonna be shade by this summer.
That's
So,
right, exactly.
when you do your walkthrough, if you deem that maybe this is necessary and you want Jeremy to look into it for the budget. I seen rough area estimates for our park was like 12 to 15,000. But that is full gear, the big pylons that go in, these big nice shades that had a 25-year warranty. So, but like I said, I just looked to look. I know there's less expensive options and I know there is much higher expensive options. So when you guys do your walk around, I would, note that on there. And then when you guys set your priorities to take projects to Jeremy, and you guys can all get on the internet and look like I did, just get a rough idea. But I know that has been something I've heard several complaints about in the last week.
Right, and of course, the idea is trying to do something temporarily. In
Right.
the meantime.
There is temporary options.
So that's what we're
So,
looking for,
yeah.
really.
Yep,
Satisfy these folk that are out there all the time.
yeah. And then George, I'm not surprised to see number 4 on there. That's the heart for George there. Actually just had a conversation about this, the city administrator and myself, so.
Yeah, because all we're trying to do is just make it look a bit pleasant till we find out about getting the siding redone properly.
Yes,
You know,
yep.
to cover up that mess.
This is painting the caboose.
Oh, yes, right. Yeah, that
It
that
looks-
has to be done.
And particularly with having the activities starting again, you know, at the lake.
I'm thinking of power washing it.
It
No.
definitely needs to be,
Yeah, it needs to be washed, but power washing might be dangerous.
it needs a light wash because it is brittle.
With the wood.
Um,
But I've tried to wash that off. But I
Well,
don't, I would have used a different material if I was taking that graffiti off. I wish I'd have known about it.
well, it needs to be painted.
Well,
Yeah, it
paint,
does, yeah.
paint's come a long ways. They do, you can
Yeah.
match the chartreuse
Yeah.
and have a cleanable, a mate,
So
something
we
we can do.
can,
paint,
we
so.
need to get some paint and
Yeah.
chip and match it because
Yeah,
we're obligated to paint it in the same color.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's part of the agreement. Yeah.
Yep,
But there again, we need to have it done this summer or spring anyway, you know.
All right.
so that would be another thing, once again, bring to Jeremy for.
Yeah.
Including in the budget, so.
Now, sidetracking a little bit, you obviously have not experienced the boat races or the rowing at all. And you questioned last time what we needed to do. Really, the answer is not much because they come self-contained, these rowers. You know, they set up their own food and the whole thing, you know. What we normally do is through the Grange, house them for $50 a night to go towards the Grange fund or whatever, you know, so. And it's only the adults. So then they sleep at the school, some of them don't they? Well, look what they're going to do now, we've got the new gym and all that. So, so really, as regards the city, there's really not much we can do. They're out the lake from morning till dark, and then, you know, they have their own catering set up and so forth. You know, so that's just by way of giving you some info.
Okay.
All right, well. Anybody have anything else going on in their head?
I don't think so. I think we've been very productive.
Yeah.
We've got further than we've ever got.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, Jeremy's got it all down.
I got it all down.
You're a good man.
That's my thing, so
Yeah.
especially this one.
I know. All right, so we all set?
I think so.
I think so.
All right.
Good to see you, Joel.
Good to see you, George. See you, Paul. Bye, Max.
All
See you,
right.
Jeremy.
Hi,
All
Joe.
right, thank you, Joe. Good to see you.
Meeting's adjourned at 8:53.
Good heavens.
All right, have a good night.
Hi, everybody.
Good
Good night, Joe. Thank
Good night.
you.
I've got too many pieces of paper.
You do. You do have a